If it is the other houses, there is no free will. You have no free will pertaining to love and relationship.
So, for example, if you see four separate
The statement that I am in love with so and so is totally wrong, because it is not you who is in love. You are made to be in love for some other purpose of some fructification of some karma.
So, for example, if you're saying it's predestined,
I will give you.
it's relating to the seventh house.
Yes, yes. Basically, it is predestiny, but a lot depends. As I told you, 3, 6, 10, and 11 are the houses of free will. You will see in any horoscope, if the lord of a house is placed in 3, 6, 10, or 11, invariably there will be suffering in that area of life. Why? Because you used your brains. You did not listen to God. And where man uses his brain, he makes a mess, believe me.
In this free will versus destiny thing, my understanding is, maybe I'm wrong, is that it's not one or the other. It's like in every moment there's free will and every moment there's destiny.
Excellent.
What's happening on the outside is destiny. How we respond to it is free will.
Not in everything.
Okay.
Not in everything. In things like, for example, 5th house, about a child. You think you have decided. That is your thinking. It is your ahankar, your ego, which is thinking that I thought. How much option did you have? You see my point? In 5th house matters, maybe you had no option. So, in 3, 6, 10, and 11 is your exercise of free will. Somebody who has, let us say, 7th lord in 3rd house, the person is going to end up in a number of messes in personal life. Sorry for that, but I didn't put it there.
Seventh lord in the sixth would be seventh lord in the sixth. Would that be like fighting with the spouse?
7th lord in 6th house. You see my point? You exercised your free will. So now face your free will. Yeah.
So you got the Lagna, you got the moon, you got the Aruda Lagna. You could end up with every house being.
We are seeing from Lagna.
Talking about Rashis.
Rashis. From Lagna. Yeah.
But what if the seventh lord went to the eighth or to the 12th?
It is not in a free will house.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
That means you will be punished severely for past karma. 7th lord in 8th is heavy punishment coming because of past karma.
So there's nothing you can do about it in the present except suffer.
You have to have the anubhava. You have to have the suffering. What can you do about it? Tell me. I mean, are you trying to tell me, have you seen a 16-year-old having 7th lord in the 8th and you try to explain some jyotish to that person? Does it work? Nothing works. They have to go through that. When they are 32, then they come with the charts probably, and then you tell them, okay, then they understand.
So in a sense, if, like you said, if the seventh lord is in the third house, you have some control over if you used your wisdom properly, maybe you can stay out of the mess.
You see, generally I have observed when the 7th lord is in 3rd house, 6th house, 10th house, 7th lord in 10th is called, what is that famous yoga? Jara yoga. Multiple relationships. You exercised free will. See? What a mess you have made by exercising free will. The problem, Najiji, wherever man has exercised his free will, believe me, he is a little child running about making mistakes. Because the 10th house and the 11th house of the natural zodiac is ruled by Shani. Your weaknesses will show up. And the 3rd and 6th house are ruled by Mercury. Your lack of wisdom will show up. So when 7th lord is in 6th or 7th lord is in 3rd, very unwise and wrong decisions you will take. When the 7th lord is in 10th, all kinds of shadripus will show up, believe me. Shadripus, weaknesses, weaknesses will show up, all kinds of weaknesses. So it is a question of to what extent, in which areas of your life has God given you the chance or the opportunity to exercise your free will. And when the best way out, believe me, the best way out is to do the Narayana Kavacha. The Narayana Kavacha has 3 mantras: Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Vishnave Nama, and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. These 3 mantras take care of the 3rd, 6th, and 11th house so that you don't make mistakes. Om Namo Narayanaya for third house. Om Vishnave Namah for sixth house. And Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya for 11th house. Okay? Yeah.
If a person doesn't have any planets in 3rd, 6th, 10th, and 11th, that means the person doesn't have free will?
No, he has houses. No?
Right. Okay.
You can't remove them. Then there are the lords. You have to see 7th lord going to 10th house is one issue. 10th lord going to 7th house is another issue. When 7th lord is in 10th, in the exercise of free will is done totally in 7th house matter. You refuse to listen to anybody. When the 10th lord is in 7th house, exercise of free will is also being done, in that God sends something but you interfere in a different way. So these houses also have lords. You see 6th lord, wherever the 6th lord will go, the person will end up making a mess in his life over there. Why? Because he will end up fighting and he will end up taking very immature, unwise decisions. What is Mercury all about? Immaturity, unwise. If you are wise, if you have the wisdom, why are you making mistakes?
when Lord of one ask us to not.
Right, that is called Viparita Raj Yoga. That means I made a mistake so that somebody else has to be punished for that.
Viparita usually relates to Dushtana.
Say 3rd and 6th, say 3rd lord and 6th. Will you call it Viparita? Will you call it? So you exercised your free will in matters of, let's say 3rd lord is in 6th house. I don't think it is good. I don't think any exercise of free will is good. Personally, you ask me? No way. I don't trust man. I just don't trust man. I never. Man must not be trusted. Among creatures, he is the most cruel. Yes, totally selfish. Manushya Jati. Yes.
I got a question about matching. You know, maybe it's off the subject, but you're matching a couple. They want to get married. So, what if you see a person's got 7th house to the 8th, or he's got the 7th house to the 12th? What do you say to that person?
I ask all of them whether they have errors or they don't have errors. I check up the Upapada and ask them, please start fasting straight away. Anybody who has come to a reading with me, first thing I tell them, I calculate the Upapada, I ask them to start fasting. I don't trust human wisdom in this matter. I don't. I know it. We will make a mess. It is better to start fasting, because by fasting you are making your mind stronger. And there are certain days when the failings can come. That is the Upapada. On that day, surely the failing will come. It's better to fast on that day so that your mind is strong and you don't exercise free will. The moment you exercise free will, that's it. You just let things be, the day will go away. It will be nice. If every negative day that has to come goes away smoothly, your life is fine. Fast on Upapadas. Fasting is the best way to make the mind strong. I am not saying this. Ask any of the sadhus. I mean, these sadhus are not fools that they fast for 21 days and 40 days. Why do they fast like that? To have a very strong will. What is the will that they want? That they must not exercise their free will. That is all that they want. They don't want to exercise free will. They want God to exercise His will. Come back to the topic. Now, Saturn and Libra. Everybody says that Libra is the sign where the legal system works. Why is Libra the sign showing the court and the working of the legal system?
It's supposed to represent justice.
Why does Libra represent justice? Saturn has Digbala in the natural 7th house. Okay. Why are we talking of Saturn?
Yama.
Yes, of Yama Dharmaraja. Yama's other name is Dharmaraja. Dharma Raja. Raja means king of Dharma. And we saw that the entire legal system is nothing but Dharma. And the king of the Dharma is Yama, the god of Saturn. Why was Yama made the king? Because Yama is the coldest one. He is the master of all punishment. So a legal system is meaningless if it does not have a system of punishment. Who? Oh, he didn't spare his stepmother, he didn't spare his father, he didn't spare any. He is totally cold. To a good justice is one who is totally cold, dispassionate, no passion, totally cold, Saturn. Am I being understood? So when you read about Yama and his punishment, the power of the Saturn to punish, you will realize that his exaltation. What is exaltation of Saturn? I have punished even the most evasive criminal. And who are the criminals? All human beings are in list number 1. All creatures born, all animals, carnivorous, and goes on and on and on and on and on. That list is never ending. He's got a huge list. That is why they say transit of Saturn is bad. You talk of Sade Sati, you talk of Kantak Shani, you talk of Shani Dasha. Why is it bad? Because he is punishing you for crime that you thought you escaped. You see, that is the justice. That is why Saturn is exalted in Libra, and Libra becomes the judicial system. The judiciary, where it is decided what punishment is to be given, how much punishment is to be given. Okay? We are being clear about each and everything. Of course, there is much more to this, but I will be skipping it. You can go through the entire theory. I have given a very detailed write-up on this. Now, one of the aspects of studying Nyaya or the judicial systems is to see its historical development, right from the time of Manusmriti, where he talks of how human beings must interact with each other, to, let us say, the time when we have this modern judicial systems, multifaceted. In India, we even have telephone adalats, right? Where because of the large number of people who have complaints about wrong telephone bills, and how somebody who doesn't have even international dialing gets a phone bill where somebody else's bill has been pumped into his system, are questioned. We have all kinds of lok adalats and all kinds of things trying to. You see, the more crime in a society, the more stronger the legal system has to be. And what is the problem of Saturn? He is so slow, he is lame. So the biggest problem of the legal system is the fact that it is slow. Justice delayed is justice denied. So any legal system which we study, we have to see it very carefully whether it is slow or not. If it is slow, believe me, that itself is a big minus point. 1. 2. Who is the biggest natural enemy of Saturn? Jupiter, the god of forgiveness. He says, must you punish everybody for everything they do? Can't you see that these human beings are little children with little minds running around? Let them be. Forgive them. Have a big heart. That's Jupiter. That is why Jupiter is such a nice planet. His transits are considered so good. Wherever he goes, he forgives. Forget it. Go ahead with life. That's Jupiter. You see, the wise one. So Saturn's biggest problem is handling and dealing with Jupiter. When does Jupiter want to forgive? Saturn says, now I am going to kill this guy. Yama, go and take his soul. Jupiter stands on the way. No way. He has gone through so much, he needs a few more years. So Jupiter blocks Saturn. Jupiter is the only planet which has the power to block Saturn. He has the power to forgive and not to punish. He carries the staff of God, the mercy of God. Jupiter is a great planet. He can prevent Yama, or the god of death, from stepping into your house if he sits on the door. He's such a great planet, a great guru. Because all the good qualities are personified by him. The biggest minus point that Saturn has in any legal system is that of finances, money. Jupiter does a beautiful thing. Half the legal disputes go unsettled because the costs are very high. How many of you can even dream of going and filing a case? What is the first thing that is preventive? Is the cost. The single factor is the cost factor. A lawyer, okay, the basic lawyer is charging, okay, $100 an hour. And let's say the cheap lawyer, $100 an hour. 200 now? Oh. 175 is the low out here. Okay.
30 hours a day. Like in the United States, something like 3% of all cases come to the court.
That is very good, believe me. Very, very good. In India, it's in decimals. It's in decimals. People in villages cannot even dream of going to courts. You cannot afford the legal fees. Forget it. So you see, Jupiter is very merciful. Okay. We'll take a break now. I'll give you 10 minutes and then we will come back for constitutional law. We'll study the constitution of the US and India. Okay.